What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 290 of Opinions May Vary. I am your host, JR. My co-host with me, Alex.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hi.
It's going to get scary up in here today. Joining us this week is my new pals. Alex, they're not your new pals. They're your current pals, but my new pals. I'm not saying we're better friends, but we're getting there. See, you're setting the ambiance. Is our new pal, my new pal, Bobby.
How you doing?
And David.
Hey, how you doing?
Dave. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dave works.
Dave. Trying to be a little less. Okay. Anyways, but
I met them last year through
I'm already
through Kyle, our good friend Kyle of Decimated Designs, who has 3 appearances on our show. And I just happened to be over there working on a project that I occasionally do, and Kyle was like, "I've got some guys coming over, and we're gonna like talk about some ideas and do some shared consulting." And he's like, "Do you want to come hang out?" And I'm like, "I get to be cool and hang out with the gang. The guys doing it. I'm just making these masks." And then we all hung around and chilled. It was great. And I've followed some of your stuff on the social medias, and then when I was at CT Horror Fest, you guys were doing the Zombie Lazer Tag.
Yes.
And at first I was like, I don't know, but then I saw some of the flyers and like the receivers are only on their heads, like right on their foreheads, like dead center. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm more on board now. I'm seriously on board.
I literally had the same, because like when you think laser, it's like, oh, laser tag, like just gotta turn
put on the
sideways. Every asshole just turns sideways and just like, come on. But then when you're like, no, listen, it's on the head. Mm-hmm. Brilliant. It's brilliant.
So you have to destroy the brains.
And if the zombies got close to your gun, you would lose health.
Oh, there's like a proximity sensor too?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if the zombies got close to you, you would die.
What?
You would take health hits.
Okay.
So you'd be technically dead by the zombies. So it worked both ways. So you could kill the zombies or they could kill you.
That's pretty cool.
It was like kind of real life zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. But without like the actual violence.
Well,
Some violence was there.
Let's not get carried away here, Alex.
But I caught up with Bobby and I was like, hey, we met before at Kyle's and like, I'm doing a podcast thing. Could I take some pictures? And like he walked me through, because like they were taking a break at the moment from trying to kill a bunch of people or getting killed, repeatedly.
Zombies get tired too.
Yeah, well, they have rights.
Yes, they need food and water too. I mean, it's not all brains and killing. So
they deserve the same respect everyone else does. But for anyone who would walk through like what you guys had, if they've never designed and constructed like a scene, they wouldn't really get it. And they're like, oh, there's just some newspaper on the ground, and I was like, yo, this is pretty good for what you had to work with. like it's not your building. It's not like you can screw shit into the walls or anything. It's not like you can really like build full structures. And so I'm looking at this as like, what could I possibly have made in the time given? And I'm like, no, this is good. I get it.
Right.
It's all there. And like there's plenty to work with and to go through it like with a purpose while possibly getting attacked. It's like, oh no, I get it. It all fits. Mm-hmm. And then we turn the corner and it gets like almost pitch black dark.
Yeah.
They had like the windows were covered because there was like a big like what was it, storage area?
It was a storage closet, basically. What we turned into a laser tag arena for zombies. So it was.
We have some experience with arenas. When I don't have a roommate, when I don't have a roommate, the room up front of the house becomes our Nerf arena.
Because we're in our 30s.
No, we've done that with previous haunts we worked at. After hours,
Yes.
we ran through with Nerf guns.
That actually is brilliant. That's like the perfect setting for
through
a
a 45-minute walk-through haunt. We turned it into a Nerf gun arena, and we used a blowhorn or the megaphones.
Okay.
To signal from one end to where we have to start. We all separated. And
All
it was
different corners.
and we turned the show on. We fog machines, you name it. It was awesome.
God, you could probably charge for that.
Yeah, no, you probably could totally.
I would have paid to do that.
Right?
And then we found Nerf darts everywhere.
All over
the
the
whole
rest of the
season. Yeah.
A friend of ours who does he has like a stunt gym, like a parkour gym, but they also have mats to teach self-defense and jujitsu and whatever. And occasionally, like, they'll have Nerf night as well. So imagine, like, all the barricades and stuff that you could parkour off of and all the padding and everything, but now add Nerf darts and guns and whatever.
And add people who can do parkour.
Yeah.
It's impossible to hit them. They're going to dive over your bullets.
Yeah,
Your
fair.
darts,
No.
excuse me.
It's not fair.
Unfair advantages.
Yes.
But, yeah, but at CT Horror Fest, I was like, this is a cool setup you guys got and everything else that I know you guys do. I said, would you mind coming on the show sometime and talking about all of it? And you guys were like, yeah, okay, I guess.
What a better way to kick off, because it is October. It is officially, I've been waiting for October 1st. It's not even the 1st anymore. It's well beyond the 1st, but I've been waiting for October 1st for like weeks.
There's no other month than October
Exactly.
with us.
Yeah.
I used to not be a really big fan of Halloween. Wasn't my favorite thing. But like over the past couple years, like now that I'm an adult, and it's like, I don't even know what caused it. I just liked it. Like, I've been waiting for like Target and like stores to transition out of back to school and into Halloween.
Yeah, they're already on Christmas.
They are really. Target already has lights up. Like you can buy Christmas lights. It's mostly Halloween, but on like the back corner, there's Kohl's.
Like slowly creeping in there.
Kohl's is pretty hardcore out with their Christmas stuff already.
Yeah, if you go to Lowe's, don't look up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all Christmas stuff up top.
Exactly.
But it's like on the high shelves.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was for the most part.
And back when
they
I
have trees out already.
Back when I worked retail, I thought it was hilarious because I'd be like, I would set the like. I remember my last year in retail. I was like, oh man, the first Christmas display is going up on October 24th, and every year would get earlier and earlier, and people would just get more and more furious. And it's like, well, stop buying it.
Yeah,
Stop
don't buy
buying it in October,
It won't
and then we won't be selling it in October.
Well, they say the two highest grossing money holidays is Christmas and then Halloween. So what they're trying to do is capitalize on Christmas and Halloween, but they're pushing Halloween away, which I don't like.
Yeah. It's a bummer. Like it's definitely, it takes me, because like my wife and I we're in our 30s. We're old. We wander Target, and like nowadays, like we've been wandering the Halloween stuff because like we have our new house. We want to decorate it with Halloween stuff this year because we didn't really have the opportunity last year. And like it's kind of jarring walking through Halloween stuff and then seeing Christmas lights. Like it kind of takes me out of it a little bit. But we managed to pick up some pumpkins, like these little tiny pumpkins with LEDs in them, because we don't have plugs anywhere on the outside of our house.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about it, though. And we got a doormat because, again, we're in our 30s.
Gotta have
It's
the
great.
doormat.
Yes.
Well, the regular haunters, there's no off season. It's like when these products come out right now, it's like we're buying them for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be good.
We shop in March at Transworld,
Oh yeah.
Right.
the trade show,
Mm-hmm,
the big trade in St. Louis.
Yeah.
That's when we.
Spend all of our money.
Yes, that's when we go full bore.
Well, that's like, it's one, like, you know, spending all your money, but it's also like for your business.
Yeah.
Right? So you can you can put it back into your business to make more money.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you're supposed to be buying it for a haunt, not like for your own house.
Right,
But
but
you know,
the
nothing's,
little bit of both.
nothing's gonna stop you.
The main reaction I get for when I'm like, we're going to this Transworld show. It's a Halloween show in March. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, Halloween's not till.
Right.
But this is the time of year when everybody's off.
Right.
It's in the haunt industry. This is when we have time to do this. This
Yeah.
is
Right.
why everybody goes. I mean, it's the biggest show in the whole country.
You went to one a couple years ago, right?
I didn't go to that one. No.
Wasn't it in New York? Or is it
Oh, I
always
went.
in...
I went to IMATS.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Different. It's
If you've never been to Transworld, you have to go.
Yeah, if you can get there.
It's like
I-
being an 8-year-old in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Kyle invited me,
Greatest thing ever.
but I didn't know what it was yet,
oh no!
and I was like, "Meh, I don't know, Kyle. I've got things
Nope.
to do at home."
no.
And then like
Best experience of your life. I guarantee it.
I see the pictures and I see what everyone else is doing, and then I'm like, I should have gone to that.
Yeah.
I have regrets.
I'm outside the window, staring in.
At the same time, with that timing, this way it gives them plenty of time to build the stuff that you're buying.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask, like, because Transworld's in March, like, when does it, like, okay, now we need to sit down and have our board meeting, whatever, like, what are we doing this year? When does that start?
So we do all that stuff like right before the trade show. We sit down, figure out what we're gonna do, what we need to buy and all that kind of stuff. Go
Right.
to the trade show, buy it, and then as soon as the ground is, not sopping with
Snow
melting
and
snow,
ice.
we get right to work.
Damn.
And then it's nonstop until
You
it's
also
cleaned up.
we also come up with ideas while we're at the show too, because you see stuff. It's like, oh man,
That could work.
I could use that.
Yeah.
And I try to learn how to build stuff while we're there, looking at how things operate because they have everything on display. So I can replicate that for they want $3,000 for this. I could probably do it for 300.
yourself. Yeah, just
Yeah.
build it from the ground up.
I try to learn from what I see.
At that place, for people who are trying to sell your product, like how much are they willing to pull back the veil and be like, oh, here's like the mechanics of it? Because because sometimes they'll want to sell it, and like if you're gonna buy it, you have to know how to repair it. So they want to see the pieces and parts, but at the same time,
Most places they don't show you.
yeah,
You have to watch it cycle through. If it's an animatronic, you got to watch it go a couple times.
yeah,
And try to figure it out on your own because they don't show you everything.
right, yeah,
And you try to mimic, we know animatronics, so I know how to make things move a certain way. And but there's some stuff that there is so impressive, it's worth every penny you could pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some amazing stuff there, which I know I couldn't replicate, but there's some simple stuff that they charge money for that I know I can do. Not God's gift to Halloween, but
I was warned about some companies that will like take a bunch of pictures
Yes.
and then just reproduce it in China and sell
Yeah.
it, like the same exact thing.
yep.
That's something I enjoy doing is, we see all the stuff in March at the trade show, and then you'll see, like, Spirit Halloween
Right.
put out, like, the same thing, just the
Cheaper.
incredibly cheap rip-off version of it.
Cheaper version.
A friend shared a video of the current Spirit Halloween catalog, but like the videos they play of things.
Yep.
And it's just a voiceover going reskin, like where it's like they took the same animatronic, they just put like a different mask on
Right,
it.
right.
And it's and it says like what's lame or what doesn't move or like it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Most of that's wire based.
Yeah.
It's all wire framed. It's not designed to last multiple seasons unless you put it back in the box and put it on a shelf in your basement,
Yeah.
which most people don't do. So it's not made to
Just
be
chuck it in the closet.
used year after year after year. So
Well, like people that decorate their houses, they're not going to have it up for more than 2 weeks or so.
right.
Whereas, like, if it's in a haunted attraction, you got to have that thing ready for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
most
operate.
home haunters idolize. We're part of a Facebook group where a lot of people idolize. I mean, they bow down to Spirit
Oh,
and the stuff they do.
It makes me upset.
But
It's
I
so
know
much
it doesn't. I know it doesn't last that
Yeah.
long. I've worked with their stuff. I mean,
Right.
I'm not bashing the company, but a lot of it looks great. Don't get me wrong; it looks really good, but it just doesn't hold up.
Well, it might be fun to play with. You walk in there and you can stomp on all the pressure pads.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's like
Always a good time.
it's like playing the piano in Big or something.
Well,
Right.
they design their stuff for you to have at your doorstep,
Yeah.
not for somebody to throw in a haunted
Oh yeah,
house.
yeah.
So
get abused for 6
it's good
weeks.
for 30 or 40 movements, not 3,000.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold. For some reason, it just doesn't hold up.
Well, of course not. It's probably when it's made with like cheap plastic and not like actual metal or anything, stuff like that.
And then usually it falls victim to, like, a drunk customer or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody leans
Right,
on
yeah.
it, steps on it,
Yeah,
and
rest in
it
peace.
It
breaks.
just bumps into it,
Right? Yeah. No, a lot of that stuff.
or an actor runs into it.
I remember in the one haunted house that I worked in, there was in like the swamp area, there was the crocodile
Yeah,
that would shoot out, on the hydraulic and loud and bang noises and all that stuff. Like when you see it during the day, it's like it's a completely different quote unquote beast,
Yeah.
because then you actually see the apparatus that it's attached to and like the enormous thing that it is. It's not just this alligator, it's this alligator attached to this giant thing, and like it would I think we had to like move it back because it would like walk throughout the night,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it had such like a force.
yeah.
But that thing is designed to do it over and over and over again for an inordinate amount of time. Like what it was like 6 weeks
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it would go off every time someone walked by it. It just needed like 10 seconds to recharge.
In the industry, it's like anything else. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
The higher price items are going to last longer than the cheaper price items. Spirit is the lower end, affordable, which I'm not, like I said, I'm not bashing the company at all because they make some quality products.
But it's for home hunters.
If
Like
you're
you
throwing a
said.
Halloween party,
Exactly.
Exactly. It's made for, I'm going to put this in my front yard for Halloween night,
Yeah.
and it's going to scare the trick-or-treaters.
Right.
It's not
Maybe it'll
made
work
for
next year.
high-scale haunts, like,
Like, I'm not really going to need my $30,000 necromancer thing
Right.
that stands up and is already 10 feet tall. And
So if you go to, when you go to Transworld, you don't see stuff like that. You see
Yeah.
the higher end.
The quality.
It's, yeah, very, very expensive. Now, there are companies that make higher end stuff that don't last. You just got to go by reviews and
Buyer beware.
yes,
yeah.
always research what you buy. Always.
So before we started, we were about to get into a topic. Let's do that now, because like you're saying with the buyer beware, and I imagine like you would just talk to friends that you've made either at the show or just at other haunts and whatever.
Yep.
And so I do want to point out this guy Bill, who we had on last year, works out in Eastern Massachusetts, and like he'll do like 3 haunts in one weekend, and he'll like work.
he's a machine.
It's kind of, and then like but before Halloween starts, he's also doing Ren fairs and working at like King Richard's and whatever.
Yep.
It's crazy. But working at so many places and making so many friends, and he'll also like teach seminars, and he goes to Transworld and does seminars for character acting and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and he came up with Many Haunts, One Family, because like it shouldn't be haunt versus haunt, because we're all on the same side. It's us versus the guests, the people that we intend to scare.
That's one of the big problems we have. Well, not we have, but the industry has. Is when we meet people in St. Louis, and they're from Texas, and they have this idea. They keep it close to their chest. Now we're in Connecticut. How are we going to compete with you in Texas? Why not share your ideas? It's not like we're next door neighbors.
Right.
You know, everybody is very.
It's not to say everybody's like that.
No,
Yeah.
not everybody, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, there is a weird feeling people have towards other haunters where you can't tell them what you're doing, and it's like it's about the mission, not about the wallet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want you to steal my idea,
Yeah.
which I understand. You want to be original, but you're halfway across the country. What, I get it,
Yeah.
but I don't like it. Because I kind of think I'd be the same way if I had like this really cool idea. But I tell people everything. Anything I can help anybody in the industry do, I'm very open with everything I do. He'll tell you. I tell everybody everything.
Bobby's very open about what he does.
You weren't lying.
Yeah, no,
He told us.
I tell people probably more than I should most of the times, but I just feel if I can help somebody in the industry, I'll help them.
Right.
And I expect that in return, but
Yeah, exactly.
it's not always the same.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, like when I'm doing makeup, and like my purpose is to help develop the haunted attraction and put characters in there who will be scary, or help the actor obtain their character so they can be scary. And like if the person working next to me the next night does the face I did, tonight, or they do it the next night, then like I'm not gonna really be mad, because like we both have to paint like 5 clowns apiece at least. So if you paint the same clown I painted but like gave a twist on it, good job.
Exactly.
Like I'm psyched.
It's more like if you found this brush
Yeah.
that does this certain shading, are you going to hide that from everybody else, or are you going to help the people who are like they kind of keep little things. Not everybody's like that, but I just feel like that if you were doing makeup and you found this one brush that does this certain shading technique,
Yeah.
would you hold that secret?
Nah. You go, guys, look what I found.
Yeah, show everybody you can. Look, this is
Shout
how
it from the mountaintops.
do it on Facebook. Do it on like look what I figured out.
Yeah.
And just help everybody.
So one of our new hires was a couple years ago. This girl named Mandolin, and she had done makeup for other haunts, or she had gone. She had done some schooling at other places, and so she gets to us, and like we're all sharing ideas and tips and what we do and how to do certain things. And she was like, "This is kind of weird. Like you're just left off to do your own thing, and you guys are like teaching each other all your tricks." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, we should all know the same tricks." And she's like, "That's not prevalent everywhere else." And like when we mentioned it among some of the leads and the supervisors, and like they didn't get it, and this guy Andy, who's been on before, he goes, "If I'm a tuba player and I hear of a gig where someone else needs a tuba player, I don't want my friends to know about that gig. Like they should only know that I play the tuba because I need the work." And so, you know, he was saying like sometimes you don't tell people what you can do, so that you're the only one getting the job. So like to share those techniques, it's like you're almost like making yourself less valuable. But at the same time, like if someone else improves, then that means you have to improve. If another haunted attraction gets, you know, does something cool and gets scarier, then like maybe you can make a twist on that.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
all
they have-
friendly competition.
Yeah.
Remember when we were in Columbus, the tickets?
Yeah.
In Long
One of the
Island?
things we found, there's a cluster of haunts in Long Island, and what they do is they do a package ticket. So for, I'll just say, I don't remember the exact price, but for $50, you can go to every haunt in Long Island.
There's
you know,
3 of them.
and they split the profits amongst themselves, and you know, it's just a good way to bounce people around the state, work together instead of against each other.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they all chipped in advertising and everything, so they work together rather than against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go to one and you enjoy it,
Yeah.
then you know October's a long month.
Right.
You might as well experience every haunt in your area. Then, you know, if you have one favorite and you wait till the last month, you know, the last weekend of the month to go see it, you're actually, if you're into Halloween, you're cheating yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a friend who her purpose for the past this season and last season is to try and get to as many haunts as she can.
Yep.
Because she worked with us for a long time, for like 9 years or so, and she's like, I want to see what everyone else has to offer. And so when I heard that, I'm like sending her tips and like telling her different places where to go, and like I have friends here and I have friends here, and go look at this. And so
Yes,
There's some quality haunts that are overlooked in this state.
absolutely.
That aren't the you know, there's 2 big major competitors in Connecticut, and there are some that are overlooked that I think if anybody's into the horror and haunt scene, they should look at everything in this state, and if they say they're a favorite to one of the bigger haunts, go check out the smaller ones, because I'm telling you, there are some that are gonna blow your mind.
Don't be afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't stick to your favorite thing. It's like if you eat pasta every day, you know, steak is going to be amazing the first day you try it. So just try other things. That's the only
Leave
thing
your
I can.
comfort zone. You'll be all right.
Yep. That's the only thing I can recommend to anybody.
I dig it.
And you shouldn't be comfortable in a haunted house.
It's
You should be uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you like one show and you keep going and going and going, it's like going to the same movie every time. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
granted, some of the bigger haunts actually change up scenes, others don't. And if you saw it 3 years ago, it's like the Big E. I've seen it 7 times and it's never changed.
Yep.
It's a different guy selling me knives and mops.
Yep.
It's just, but it's still the same knives and mops.
Yep. I'm talking about Connecticut haunts too, not outside the state, because I've only seen ones inside the state.
I think that's pretty applicable across the nation.
Yeah.
I mean,
There are some big guys who change up stuff, but
Yeah. So as you mentioned comfort zones, let's get into what you guys are doing this season with the chamber. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your escape room,
it's called the Chamber.
the chamber.
We like to call it an interactive haunt.
Okay.
so what it is, you know, it's a fusion of an escape room
Uh-huh.
and a haunted house. All right, so you got elements of both completely annihilating your psyche.
Okay.
So
I'm already
basically,
like anxious hearing
what
this.
we do is we put a black bag over your head and we send you into the chamber. So you have no idea what's going on. And
Okay.
we tell you you're going to get locked in the chamber. You have 5 minutes to figure out how to get out of there. The door will be unlocked when you can turn the green light on. if you don't make it out, the serial killer is going to come back, and he is going to do horrible things to you.
So this one's a serial killer.
Yes.
Okay. When like a couple years ago, when the escape rooms were like a new thing, and the first one I heard of was like somewhere out towards Boston, and they had a zombie room where it's like there was like one zombie who would be like chained to the wall,
And the chain gets longer.
and the chain, yeah,
Yes.
as time goes by, like they get more links to like come get you, and like if they get you or whatever, then you can't participate in like the detective work anymore. And so like at first I was like, oh, it was like that, but now you're like, it's a serial killer. It's there.
We wanted to take the horror movie theme and actually put you in that. We wanted you to feel like you were in the horror movie. So the escape room aspect and the haunted house thing, just they kind of came together and made the chamber. So you're basically thrown into your real life horror movie,
Right.
where you have time to escape. You have to figure out how to escape, and we have a victim in there who's guiding or helping or throwing you off course depending on how everything's going. We have it's I think it's one of a kind.
And one of the things we purposely did is there's no concept of time in the room. So you don't know, where you're at in your 5 minutes. You just take off your hood and it's time to go. And then you only know how much time you have left when the killer's banging on the door.
Yeah, there's no clock. It's not like your traditional escape room where they give you an hour and they show you the countdown. We don't show you anything.
The door closes, you have 5 minutes. Good luck. He's coming back.
Now, are you able to like watch their progress, or is that what the victim's for? Because there's a place in East Hampton, in Eastworks, I believe, in the building, and like they have people to the person like working the counter, but at the same time, when there's a group in the room, there's someone like watching monitors and like with headphones on.
Oh no, we're always watching.
Yeah. We're not high tech watching, but we can see everything you do
we
while
watch
you're in there.
We watch all the time, and the victim in the room is there to either aid or distract, depending on how you're doing.
Okay.
So we train them how to do that. Like if you're getting too fast, she'll distract you. And we have other ways of distracting people too.
You already answered one of my questions, because that when you put someone in there, like they have to help tell the story or like guide the story at their pace.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Huh.
And sometimes we'll throw the whole group for a loop, and we'll have the serial killer come back for like 5 seconds and throw another victim into the room. So at that point, they have no idea what's going on anymore. Like it completely throws them off track.
Yep.
So from like an operator perspective, how do rehearsals go? Like, is this something that you can like practice, or do you just tell them what the deal is? And or if you don't want to reveal,
I mean, it's kind of like a yes and no. I mean, you can't. I mean, you can sort of rehearse the scenario, but until you have groups going through, you're not really gonna figure out what you need to say and how you need to present ideas. You kind of have to work through that as the night progresses.
It's like with any actor in the industry. There's some that are made to do this,
right, and
some that aren't.
Yeah.
And there's some that are better, and then you have good actors, and then you have great actors. So you got to kind of feel out who you're working with.
I will say it's a very demanding position.
Yes.
To be a victim in that room, it's very demanding.
Very.
I could imagine.
Like I just
especially if it's like, because it's multiple groups a night. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, it's
like
back
because
to
it's
back
5 minutes. Yeah,
every 10
every
minutes.
5 minutes, but the groups go every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you get 5 minutes in the room, then we get 5 minutes to reset the room.
right.
So then the next group comes in. It's going to be crazy the last couple weekends. So if anybody wants to try it, I do it earlier in the month because time slots are going to fill up fast.
Like when we premiered it at CT Horror Fest last year, we were booked the whole day. So like we would reset the room, and I would just look in there at the victim and just be like, that poor guy.
Right.
Like he's getting no break for
We'd
9 hours.
have
going.
people leaving the room and running to the ATM to buy another time slot because they wanted to figure out how to solve the room.
Oh, like
Right.
they didn't successfully get it the first time.
No,
So
and they wouldn't accept a solution. They were just like, we want another ticket.
and
Come
and
again.
they went 3 or 4 times and they finally got it. But I mean, we already had 2 groups this year to solve it, so it's not like it's unsolvable.
okay.
But I've never heard a negative review except for like the spoiled sports who don't get it and they take it personally.
Yeah, they get mad.
But
yeah.
I've
It's
had
like people who get mad at magic tricks.
exactly.
I've had people I've had people who didn't make it and were like, that was so awesome. You know, like I had so much fun in there.
Uh-huh.
And then we had people who you know they wanted to beat it. They had to beat it. It was, I got to do this.
The most enjoyable is definitely those seeing the people come out that are just like shell shocked. Like
Yes.
they looked like they were just in like a car accident or something, and they're like, "Can we go home now?"
Yeah, we had one lady take a kid in because we try to. It's up to the parents. We don't put an age limit on anything, but they this one girl just stood in the corner and just didn't touch anything.
She just waited the 5 minutes.
She just stood there the whole time.
Kill me.
She just waited
kill me.
to die.
She's like, I'm not touching anything. It just stood there because there's multiple things to look through and there's places you got to stick your hand in to.
Yeah, we have these holes in the walls, and you got to stick your hand through the hole and down the pipe. And I mean, as you can imagine, nobody really wants to be doing that.
Because you can't see in there.
Right.
Because it's, you know.
When my friend Will and I would go geocaching, and like we'd find like a hole in a stump in a tree or something, and we think like the geocache is most likely inside.
Yeah.
And both of us like look at each other, and he would like go to his phone and start playing the Flash Gordon theme.
It's more like noodling than anything. That's when you try to catch catfish with your bare hands, and sometimes you get a snapper turtle, sometimes you get a catfish.
Okay.
You know? So you never know what's in that hole. So you just kind of go in there like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's part of the fun.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good.
So coming up with the plot or like
That was
what
my next question.
what
Thank you.
would you
Yep.
like to ask it?
No. I'm just saying. Like, I'm glad that you were getting there because I probably would have forgotten.
What would what's the brainstorming for that like to figure out like what you're gonna put people through or like what the goal would end up having to be without revealing what it is?
I feel like I would make it too. Like, I would freak myself out. Like when I came up with our D&D, I did a D&D campaign for Alex and the rest of our friends, and the whole time I was terrified. I was like, I'm making this too easy. I'm making this too hard. That was my big thing. I was like, I'm gonna kill these guys in one shot. I'm making this too hard. I need to dump, and I dumped it down way too much, and they ended up destroying my campaign in like 2 minutes.
That's basically how we did it too. We started off with this idea, and it started from plywood and
2x4s.
2x4s,
Right.
and we built the room, and we went from there. I mean, the decor kind of came about as we were thinking, what would a serial killer's place look like, and then we designed the puzzle, and we changed some aspects of it even through Horror Fest when we had people doing the room, because we found it was too hard, and people would get angry and break our stuff.
Totally happened.
That's the way I could. So we decided to, because I can't even tell you. You have to come experience it,
Right,
And then
right.
I'll tell you after you do the room. Just say I heard the podcast. Explain it to me, and I'll tell you.
Well, I had friends that were trying to do the rooms in Eastworks,
Okay.
the regular escape room, and they're like, maybe I have to write something on, like, here we have this marker. Should we write a symbol on the wall? And then it's like this speaker kicks on. It's like, don't write on the wall.
Yeah, we don't give anybody pens.
I feel like that could maybe be included in like the guidelines, maybe at the beginning.
What
It's
I'll
like-
tell you is the most I'll give you is there's 2 locks in the room.
Uh-huh.
You have to unlock both those locks and figure everything out on your own from there.
Right.
Okay.
That's all I tell every customer who comes in the same thing. So you go from there. There's a book in the center room that's locked, and there's a chest that's locked. From there, figure it out yourself.
It's interesting to watch people
It's a simple
work that out.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I
a
mean?
simple premise, but there's so much that can go into
when they're
opening
filled
those
with
2
terror.
locks.
Yeah, we
That
do.
too, and there's a
can you
time
open
limit.
a
Someone's
lock?
gonna kill you.
We do
So-
we do groups of 6, is the most, and we'll let we'll let one person in, but I tell you right now, power in numbers. The more brains and the more hands you have to search and touch stuff you shouldn't, the better.
How long is the reset?
5 minutes, didn't you say?
It depends on how badly the people before tear up the room.
I mean, this past weekend our reset time was about 2 minutes. I mean, it's fairly quick turnaround. But yeah, there's some groups that they decide we're gonna throw everything on the floor, we're gonna tear this place apart, and that's what's gonna get us out of here.
We've had people.
Time.
Yeah, the basic design of the room is if it doesn't move,
Yeah.
it's not gonna. Don't pull on it. Don't yank
Right.
on it because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna break it. Stuff is glued down for a reason.
Yeah.
But people just flip everything. It's a escape room type. I got to go through. I got to find this.
Yeah.
So they rip everything apart, and now it's like everything's everywhere. Good luck, because certain things are put in a certain spot for a reason. So, good luck to you.
It's like in the first Saw, like when he startles awake in the tub, and then the key spoilers. The key goes down the drain, but it's like
I didn't see that one.
I know.
That's totally what it is.
Isn't there like a new one coming out this year?
Yeah, he's
Like,
back from the dead.
Of course he is for the 5th time.
Well, like to go back to that
He's worse than Michael Myers.
that D&D game, like my character shook up a skeleton to shake things out of it, but it was in a specific pose that I didn't note before I started shaking it, and it fell apart. Or it's getting loud. Just banging. By the way, this soundtrack we're playing.
Yes.
Blood curdling scream.
It gets louder. It gets louder as it goes on.
We're almost. There's
They have 60 seconds as that scream happens.
Oh, okay. Oh, so is the entire soundtrack the length
It's
of?
all it's
Okay.
all
5
timed
minutes. Yeah, that's
experience.
the time they
have
have.
in
in
the
the
room.
As soon as they
Okay.
hear that run, the killer starts banging on the door, and he's trying to break back in there.
That was all Dave.
So as we've been talking, I've restarted it a few times, so we still have some ambiance music to go to. Yeah, this is getting.
Yeah.
If you let it run out, I'm telling you it. If you guys are free this weekend, come check out the room. I'm telling you.
Let's see. Can you tell us your operating dates in case there is a time I could make it?
Every weekend till Halloween.
And even on Halloween night.
Right.
Okay, good.
So we open at 6:30.
Mhm.
We close at 2 a.m., 1 to 2 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, and then 11 p.m. on Sundays.
Okay.
Off record, you want to come see it anytime? Let us know.
Any Thursdays? Because
I don't
Any
think we have
Thursday.
Any Thursdays.
Any
but
Thursday you want to come check it
yeah,
out,
you can
you
totally
come check it out.
down.
I'll show you the room.
Uh-huh.
We won't have every component that you're not going to experience the chamber in its full.
Right.
Right.
But I'll throw you in the room without the victim and the killer,
Uh-huh.
and I'll let you,
Okay.
And then 5 minutes later, he'll come in and try to kill you.
Yeah, that's all.
You get
'Cause
most of the experience.
Yeah. I've got a gig I have to do every weekend.
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand. This is the
It's the plight of haunters where it's
it is the plight of haunters where you want to see everything, but you have to do your own.
Yeah.
Can't hang out with your friends in October.
Yeah.
It's like all the cool kids are hanging out, but mom says I can't go.
Well, friend Kyle, that's one of his catchphrases is no sleep till November.
Yep. That's exactly what it is too.
Which thanks for giving us your time. I mean,
No problem.
We're not doing the closing out thanks yet, but I mean, you're giving us your Thursday night, and we both have work to do this weekend, but we got to
Just another day. That's it.
On your cards, there's also other stuff you have down, like consulting and design production. We talked about how you'll make some things,
Yes.
but also the soundtrack we were just playing.
Yes.
That's all you guys.
That's Dave.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
That's
I
Dave.
do all the audio production for the company. And even for developing the chamber, usually I'll just sit at my computer for a few hours, and just start pulling sounds I got in my brain, put them on the computer, and just let it go.
So any audio you hear
Yeah.
in our room,
Yeah.
it's all Dave.
So the people dying earlier when we opened the podcast, that came
was
out
brutal.
of my brain.
Now, are there things that you will record, or do you Do you have to buy stuff online, or
Yeah, I'll do some sounds that you have to purchase or whatever just to get some good quality. But I've recorded my own voice, sound effects, things like that, just to get what I need.
Because we've worked with these guys, Bob and Jared, and they do a lot of short films, and they have tons of it's embarrassing how much they know what they're doing, and like we just hang out and watch them do stuff.
Yeah,
and like and I think they had to do some ADR work, and one of Jared's things was like getting like a monster sound was the most difficult thing of like how do I make my monster sound correct. And he was like, but at the same time it's like, yeah, Mom, don't worry, I'm just punching this chicken cutlet on the counter for a while. I'm just mashing this head of lettuce just to make don't worry about it. We're not going to eat it.
That's how it is. Like I just tell everybody in my house, like, hey, I'm doing my thing. Yep. So I'll see you in a few hours.
I've gone up to the to my bathroom and took silverware, trying to make sounds of torture, utensils being picked up and put down, and I closed the bathroom door and tried to record that sound. It didn't come out as well as I thought it was, but it was it worked. So you get that vision. I mean, he's really good with the sound. I mean, really, really good.
Thank you.
No problem.
It's people like never realize how important like sound is to a haunt.
Yes.
That's like really where the immersion sets in.
I think of all the soundtracks he's ever sent me to ask me about my approval. I think maybe one, I was like, hey, why don't you try this? The rest were like perfect. It's usually spot on. So he knows what he's doing.
I used to get creeped out again in the one haunted house that I worked in because they had like a soundtrack, quote, essentially the background noises. You'd hear like fake people on the radios. Oh my God, someone got taken, whatever, and then screams and blood curdling and music and all this stuff. And like sometimes in some of the different like scare zones, like sometimes you'd have like a partner that you work with, other times you'd be alone. And like on a slower night, like just sitting there listening to it, like it would freak me out.
Yeah, I remember.
It's like I'm here alone and it's dark and I'm waiting for people.
We worked at, I did a soundtrack for their nursery scene.
Ugh.
And, it sounds like kids running from room to room. And the way we wired the rooms, it sounded like they were running away from you.
Through the house.
Taunting you and all that kinds of stuff. So it was definitely something creepy to listen to.
Would we be able to find your work in other haunts around? Like,
yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention by name, but yes.
Yeah, just because I don't know if they want the mention, but yeah.
Well, it's like they can't always like. There's work that you can do. Or it's like
anybody who knows us knows where we've been, and knows that our work still. I mean, my grandmother's, and I hate to say this, my grandmother's dining room table still lies in a haunt I used to work at, and it's still there to this day, and it kills me because I wish I could get that back, but whatever.
That was a nice table.
It's part of the business, whatever.
Because depending on the work and depending on like the artist, there's work that you can do where it's like you get credit for it, and it's like this was painted by so and so, and this is their. But at the same time, there's other work where it's like you don't get anything.
And I feel like audio is one of those things.
Listen, as speaking of evidence of evil, that will never happen with our company. Anybody who does anything for us will get the respect due, even if they leave the company. That's one thing that drives me nuts about.
Well, I don't mean like not giving someone the credit they deserve.
No, but
sometimes like the work that you would do, it's like you're just not. When the final product comes out,
you're in the background.
Yeah.
And no, I get that. Like I feel like everybody should be at the front of the stage. I don't like seeing people in the background. So even like the small things they do, I feel like they should get some sort of recognition, even if it's like, hey, you hung those curtains. You know what I mean? Like
we make sure everybody who works for us is known, through what Facebook or whatever. We pictures. We make sure everybody who works with us or for us known. We don't want anybody to fall to the backdrop because we've done work for people and they claim it is their own.
Right.
And for me, it's like I want something that they could use in a resume if they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're building like a book for themselves or whatever. I want them to have
Mm-hmm.
things they can use to
Don't want
sell
that work
themselves.
to go to waste.
Yeah.
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 Very creative people in this business.
Yes, and sick.
It's I've no
Sick, twisted, and creative.
I've noticed a lot of people like get a good start doing haunt work. Like a lot of cosplayers
Yes.
started making costumes or doing makeup, like doing haunts, and then they've branched out and made like things that aren't covered in blood for some reason. Like that's
Yeah.
it's not a,
What?
yeah, weird.
Why?
It's strange, but it's doable.
Or like, you know, some people get told like, oh, you want to be an actor, like go pretend to be a zombie for 10 nights, you know, in October, and like that'll get you in the mood of like this is how you be a character for this long, and like it won't drive you insane maybe.
Maybe. But I mean, yeah, you definitely learn valuable skills through stuff like that, where you're forced to improv with a crowd. You know, people are going to interact with you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
need to know how to interact back.
Yeah. So in the past, I would do makeup and then I would go out and scare when I used to have time. I don't have time anymore. But I would have like a bunch of different characters, and sometimes some characters were quiet brutes that would just be scary, and other times I really enjoy doing the talkative weird ones.
Yeah.
Because I'm posing as the distraction for everyone else. And this is like a midway thing where people are just kind of like walking around back and forth and whatnot. And so that would be a haunt zone where like many of us are gathered. There's like 5 or 6 haunters in the zone. And so as long as like I have people looking at me, their back is turned to the rest of the scares.
Yes.
And so I'd be going through this routine, and some kid will come up and be like, dude, can I be on your Facebook? And I'd like launch in this weird spiel of like, oh, book book of faces. I have 65 pages in my book of faces. I'll take your face off and put it in my book. And like I'm going on I'm going on and on, just like trying to mess with this kid and make him like confused with what I'm saying. And one of the other actors comes up behind him and is like watching me do this dumb bit, and then leaves. And I'm like, what?
Just like, dude, you had it. It was
Prime
right
opportunity.
There. You let it go.
The night ends, and we're in the dressing room, like, you know, cleaning up and getting back into regular person clothes. And he's like, "Oh, where'd you come up with that?" And I'm like, I made it up. Like, that's our job, is to make the stuff up.
And it's like, I made it up for you.
I'm like, you didn't get them. Like, that was your chance to, like, don't think you're going to interrupt me. The only reason I'm doing this is so you can get them.
Distraction.
Because I'm going to walk away as soon as you do. Like, I don't care.
Nothing drives me more crazy than the actor who stares at you and tilts his head and does nothing else.
Yeah.
Because I could make a mannequin that does that
It's not scary.
exactly.
It's not scary.
Pay them out.
You don't got to pay him by the
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing is like, you know, I understand, you know, you're big and scary and you tilt your head and you're staring at people, but we can get mannequins to do that exact same thing. Like, you have to learn. I honestly think that some people get it and some people don't.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and you
yeah.
gotta, you know, some people know the right time
Mhm.
to jump out. I mean, I fight the urge every day in every life situations, at the grocery store, at my full-time job. I have to fight the urge because I know when I could get somebody off guard.
It's all you
and I
see is
have to
victims.
fight because nobody's gonna like me anymore. You know, so it's like you gotta fight the urge.
Yeah.
It's something I think that's in people's blood, which is kind of weird to say, but I think that's how it is.
Some people just got it. And I envy those people because I don't got it. I don't got it at all. I never did the stare and head tilt. Nope.
Yeah.
No. I didn't do that because I knew it's stupid. Because people would do it to me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I'm like fighting a cringe. If anything, I'm uncomfortable. I'm not scared. I don't want to see you anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be their job.
Yeah.
You know, when we were running stuff at another place, I tell them I could get a mannequin to do what you're doing. So don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Don't.
You're being a mall rat right now.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not scary.
Our boss
Stop.
has a term, mall ratting. It's like, don't just walk, don't just pace in a circle.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah,
it
yeah.
your own. Take ownership. Have fun with it. You're getting
Be
paid
the
to have
character that you're supposed to be. You know, like, embrace it. They can't tell who you are. You have makeup on. You have a mask on.
fun. Do your thing.
Go above and beyond whatever you think this is. If you think a tilt head and a stare and like bumping chest with people is scary, I'm sorry, it's not. You gotta,
Like, one of the things I tell people is, like, that'll work for about 4 seconds.
Yep.
But you got to hit a change up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're going slow and you're staring and you're going slow and staring, like, when you're hitting that change up and you're going to become, like, one of the 28 days later, like, sprint zombies.
Yeah.
Well, it works if somebody's at the end of the hall and they tilt their head and they're staring at you down the hall and you have somebody pop out before them because they're focused on that person.
Yeah.
Then maybe it works, but my experience, it's always like up close and personal. And it's like, that's not scary. It's not scary.
That was the setup that Nichelle and I would use in the swamp.
Yeah.
Way back when they actually gave me a partner in the swamp.
One person's being seen, the other one's.
I'd stand there right in the center, but I was like far enough away so people were like, what's he doing? And then there was a trash can. Of course there was a trash can.
You gotta have the trash can.
Yeah, there was, and she would hide behind it and just scare the shit out of every single group. It was great. And then the next time I was in the swamp, I was alone, so I just tried to hide behind the trash can, and they just saw me coming a mile away. It didn't work.
Because there's nothing to distract you.
Exactly.
You gotta get in their head.
Yep.
You gotta get in their head.
Yep.
You got to take people out of their comfort zone. You got to get in their head.
If anyone listens to, I'm going to reshare a bunch of past episodes.
Oh yeah.
Because our friend Milta came on and she's been haunting for a long time, and it really has like the psychology of it down to the point where, like, if someone acts like they're not scared, she'll befriend them and like start being their friend,
And then
that leaves them open. She's like,
Yep.
and then I scare them because they're just open. They're they think we're buddies now. And then, but at the same time, Bill was talking about a girl who was in a scene who wasn't like committing because she was embarrassed or she was shy.
Yep.
And like you were saying, it's like no one is ever. You're not going to see any of these people ever again.
They don't know who you are.
They don't know you. They can't see you.
They don't really care either.
Yeah.
They want to be scared, so give it to them.
No, like it's not like a band. Like no one's gonna be waiting in the parking lot hoping to like meet you after the show.
I gotta check out zombie number 5 when he gets out of here.
Well, I think more or less with like a lot of the people because they're usually kids, and I'm saying like 16 to 18,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
they have this personal image
Oh yeah.
that they want to uphold.
Yep.
And you have to realize you're in a costume.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows who you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark. Your best friend, your mother won't even know who you are.
Yeah.
So just step out of that comfort zone. And once you get out of that comfort zone and you see how people react, I think a lot of people tend to grasp their character better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I try to be slow and brooding is when I would get in more trouble with guests because like they think they could mess with you more.
Mm-hmm. I've been hit doing
I've
that.
like it's been a long time. Like I got punched in the face once in '97, and I was
Once.
and like and I would do the thing where like I was pretending I was a dummy until people walked by, which is exactly the time it's going to happen.
Yep.
And like any other time when like I'm active and I'm in character and I'm my character, like I have this aura, this radius of character around me, no one comes near me.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, they're just interested. But like I never had like any abuse until like I would do something where like I think I'm like this terrifying Hellraiser-esque character. It didn't work. Didn't work one bit.
I did the mannequin thing for a couple nights when I first started off.
Yeah.
And I'd take a cinder block and I'd put my feet in it.
Yeah.
So when people would walk up, they'd see the cinder block and they didn't think it was a real person. And I got a lot of people. I've had people like grab my hips because when I jumped at them, they thought I was falling over and they were breaking props. And they're trying to stand me back up, but it worked, but it's way more fun to project a character on people.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the jump scares that way, but I mean, it's way more fun to become a character. Be a reason for fear.
So the victims in your chamber,
Yes.
like when the night's over, are they just exhausted or like do they have 1,000 stories to tell? Of being like, yo, did you see the blonde chick in group 7?
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Not as bad as the zombies were at Horror Fest.
Our zombies, we brought them to the brink of death.
They were dead when really, like this one girl, she came up to me, she's like, I am thirsty. Like she lost her voice. I mean, they were so into it.
I can't say enough. Like they put on a hell of a show.
hell of a show. You couldn't ask for better actors. They get shot in the head and they drop to the ground like they were
On
dead.
the cement floor.
And it's a
straight
cement
down.
floor. Like, don't do that. Like, you're going to hurt yourself. Just put your head down. Don't do that. But they didn't listen to us. I mean, they're crawling in. We had like these big trash cans. They're hiding in trash cans. I mean, it was amazing.
What was there a respawn time or?
Yeah, they
15
15
seconds.
seconds,
Okay.
and then the zombies would get back up, go at it again.
That's terrifying.
But they'd fall on the ground. They'd get up and they'd fall on the ground. So like you go
Yeah.
through one round, and like they already fell like
Some of them would be
15
in, like,
pounds.
yeah, they'd be in like
times.
full sprint. Some of them they'd be sliding across
God.
the cement. It's like your
how do they?
skin.
Does the thing buzz or something when they get hit? Like how do they
Yeah,
know?
it lights up and makes a noise.
Okay, all right.
It was cool.
When Kyle went through, he said he found one of the. What was it, a med pack or?
Well, there was a med kit that you were supposed to find. I believe 7 pieces.
Yeah,
to.
7 items.
Okay.
And one group found 6. They were like very, very close. They couldn't find one item.
Kyle said in his group he was the only one to find something.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
totally was.
Well, what we did was we only gave them one flashlight. One gun had a flashlight attached to it
Okay.
because we wanted them to work together as a team instead of just going. And you only
Oh,
have
yeah.
50 rounds to shoot.
You're not a SWAT group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you just can't go in willy nilly style. You actually got to plan your, But I mean, as soon as you walk through that door, you get ambushed. It was. it was anybody who did it had a great time. We had these 2 kids. One of the group, they shot out the exit door way before their time was up. I'm like, they're kids. Go back in. They're like, no, take my gun. I don't want. I don't know. Take my gun. Take my gun. I don't want to go back in.
Now, is that a thing that you would plan like just for that event? Is that not?
Well,
something
we try to do something different for every horror fest to keep our name with an original idea every year.
Yeah.
We don't want to be the escape room guys.
Yeah, and I mean,
Right.
frankly, for us, it gets kind of boring to do the same thing. Like, even this is the second year for the chamber. Like, I'm kind of bored with it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on, do something else. But it's still fun. I still like it.
If you want to buy it, it's for sale.
I was gonna say, like, is that something like you would sell, like the idea?
Oh yeah,
and
and
the story?
totally
indeed,
for sale.
no,
Evidence
we'll
of
sell the whole
evil.net.
room.
Yeah.
It's all labeled. It's all. I'm telling you, you could throw it up yourself. It's all labeled, wired, everything. It's plug and play.
Nice.
If you have a room or an area big enough for 12 by 24, contact Evidence of Evil if you want the chamber. We'll even show you how to set it up the first time.
But like the laser tag with the zombies, is that something you wouldn't want to do for like a nightly haunt thing? Because I could see that working well.
Yeah, I mean, I'd consider it.
for the audience that's going to show up to CT Horror Fest. Like, you know, you
I-
could trust them, but when it comes to like, you know,
I'd do it again, but at Horror Fest, I wouldn't. We have to bring something different every year.
right?
We want our name. If people come every year, we want them to see that we have many aspects. I mean, we took a storage room and made a laser tag arena out
yeah.
of it.
When they showed us the room in March, we just looked at each other and we're like, trash.
This is gonna work.
And we just got a bunch of
So
trash.
it was basically rope, plastic sheeting, empty boxes, and newspaper, and we just went through and we'll have a hole over here, we'll have this over here, this over here. We went through and
But you don't want to be known as laser tag guys.
we don't want to be
Yeah.
known as we want to be known as Evidence of Evil, a haunt
Yeah.
in the end result, but we want to show what we can do, which is anything.
And it's fun for us to keep like pushing boundaries and see.
Yeah.
I mean, what we can do. Like, we've never done a haunted laser tag before. We just talked with our guys and we're like, "This is what we're gonna
And
do."
it was
let's do it.
a success. I mean, I honestly believe. I don't mean to toot our own horn, but I don't see there being a limit to anything we can do.
Unless maybe like a flying haunt.
Start the plans.
I'm
you've
gonna
already
order
come up with
15 drones tomorrow.
2020.
you've already come up with 2 ideas, because like it's really and this is not belittling any haunts, because like you can have your standard haunted house, but you can also go like this step further. I've never heard of laser tag, zombie laser tag. I have never heard, because like the escape rooms are huge these days. They're huge, but like combining it with like the haunt aspect of, would have never thought of that. You know, it's creative. It would get me to be like, you know, hey, do you want to go to, and again, I'm not trying to belittle haunts here, but like, do you want to go to a haunted house, or do you want to go to a this unique version of this with there's also an escape room.
Well,
like,
the laser tag arenas nowadays are all kind of black lights, and they're all kind of the same.
yeah. And you get fog machines, you get a headache.
We had people coming up like, all right, you know, they're talking to each other before they get, you know, they get in line before we brief them, so to speak. And they're, I'm gonna kill you, you know, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna shoot you. It's like, that's not how it works. So then we tell them like,
turn on each other.
no, this isn't. You're not against each other. You're together trying to survive. It's like a Walking Dead type. If I want to reference a show or of some sort, but that's kind of what it's like. It's you versus the zombies.
Yeah.
You all work together or you die. And we have people who would walk in and die 2 seconds later because they didn't realize, you know, like the zombies could damage their guns.
Do the humans have a respawn? Or
No.
respawn.
You had one life, and it was like what?
12 points of health.
12 points of
Okay.
health.
So basically, you
okay.
had 12 encounters
All right.
before.
But if the zombie stayed close to you, your health would
as
just
it ticks by. Yeah.
It wouldn't.
Right.
It wouldn't be like one hit every time the zombie got close to you.
Yeah.
If the zombie stayed close to you, your
Well,
your
he just
health would
keeps
drop.
eating you.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If a zombie starts eating you, you typically try to get away from it.
It was as close to zombie apocalypse as you're gonna get, I think, with laser tag. I mean,
there were still some people that didn't get it when they were getting killed.
most people ran out of ammo.
I'd imagine. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I imagine those would probably be the real life scenario. There are people who could probably think it through, and then others who just would panic.
They get around the first corner, 50 shots.
Yeah.
All right, you're done.
Well,
Good luck.
everybody would panic because what we'd do is we'd have our buddy Curtis or Justin would be the one who would brief the people, and he'd lead them down this hallway, and we'd have a zombie attack them. And most of the people would waste 5 or 6 shots shooting the zombie that was attacking them that was not even part of the show. It was like just to get you guys in the mood. And, you know, so people are already down 5 shots before they even go in the room because everybody's like, blah, 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 you know, they just start pulling the trigger like crazy. Like,
Trigger happy.
you know, we told them, conserve your ammo, work as a team. And they just, as soon as they saw that first zombie, everybody's just pulling their trigger. So, you know, you have 50 rounds of ammo, you go in, you got 40 already, you know. And,
So they were probably not veterans of the Call of Duty zombies. Man.
yeah, no, definitely not.
Didn't they do something like that at one of the zombie runs you went to?
They
Like
had,
when it launched, like a guy have like a fake gun?
Oh, yeah.
And like he
Yeah, a zombie would get loose and he would have like a gun of blanks and
Right.
shoot at him.
I remember you showing me a video of that, and I thought that was neat.
Sometimes they had like some like a little nitrous bottle or squib packs or something to go off.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
for,
like it like
each,
sets the mood.
each timed round. Yeah.
I loved being, and I tell this story every year, but like I didn't really enjoy being in a haunted house because I'm not good at scaring. I just don't have it. I like you mentioned comfort zones. I could not get out of it. It's just it was embarrassing for me. I couldn't do it. But the intro guy, the spieler, like I'm here to introduce, loved it. Loved doing that. Because like if people weren't listening to me, it's like I'm in charge. You don't get to go until I say you're good to go.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to shut up and listen to me. But I really enjoyed that. That was like the one thing I was good at.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else was bad at scaring. Not good at scaring people. But where can people go to see your stuff?
So you can go to evidenceofevil.net. And that's
All one
our
word?
website. Yep, all one word. We have the gallery. We have everything we've ever done is on the website. Couldn't get the .com because it was being made for some sort of like church abuse against children documentary.
Okie dokie.
molestation.
Wow. Okay.
So we just put our hands up on that, and we're like, okay, .net it is.
And what about like that was terrifying. Little flash, like it was like lightning in here for a second. It's like you're in a haunt.
A flash alert on my phone. Sorry.
As far as like where like local people who might be in the area listening to this, if they wanted to check out your stuff before the month's end, where can they see that?
So the chamber is running at Crystal Bees in Southington. That's 240 Spring Street. It's right off Queen Street, exit 32 on 84.
Damn.
It's like a Dave and Buster's. So
Okay.
there's bowling. There's a full restaurant, full bar. There's an arcade. They have indoor bocce, indoor cornhole, which was a total different word when I was growing up. That's I guess a game
Beavis and Butthead
that people
steered us
play.
wrong.
Yeah. So, but if you buy a ticket to the chamber, it's $15 a person, but you get a gift card to play games.
So you get a
Awesome.
1 hour of unlimited games. So you
What?
can get up to 6 of those cards, and if people are smart, you'll save the other cards and just use one card for an hour because it's unlimited.
It's
swipes.
good for 1 hour. So
Pro tip.
technically, you're basically out $5 to come to the chamber, but it's going to cost you I think $16.90 total or something up front.
Connecticut admission tax.
To experience both your work and then also the entire arcade and the rest of the thing.
Right.
And there's also a Halloween themed bar, so they have like all specialty drinks, like the zombie brain shot,
Yeah.
all things like that.
Pumpkin
So-
beers and you name it.
That's cool.
That sounds rad. I hope that it gets flooded with guests, and I can't wait to hear what you guys what the next thing is. I mean, you guys mentioned you're already like moving on from the escape room.
Yeah,
like
we already.
It's like it just opened, and we're like, we're done.
right.
We're
What's
all
next?
set.
That's rad. I got to thank you. Oh, go ahead.
Do you post the people that made it?
Yes,
Cause
they're on our
some places
Facebook
we do.
page.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We actually have our banner outside of the room, and we have signs made up for losers and winners. So if the people who didn't make it want to get their picture taken for just to remember the night or whatever,
Yeah.
we have different signs that they can hold, and then we have the ones that like we came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Right.
We have MVP. We have signs that people, if you go on our Facebook page, actually Evidence of Evil LLC, you'll see that the two groups that made it, we have pictures of them because we want the people who made it to actually take pictures so we can post them on our page.
Right.
So you could prove that people actually did make
Yes,
it.
yeah, because
And they can brag to their friends and all
Yes.
that kind of stuff.
Oh, you guys didn't make it? Oh, that's a shame.
that's
I
too
did.
bad.
Yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
losers.
Yep. So, but we also check out our reviews. So we've been asking people to leave reviews because they speak so highly of it when they come out. It's like, please tell everybody.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's it's a different experience totally.
Right.
It's our baby, and it will kill you.
What more could you ask for? Guys, I got to say thank you so much for coming on, making time. It is October. We are toward the beginning, but like right in the heart of it. So making time for us, it's much appreciated. Your shit sounds super rad, if I can put it as blunt as possible. Everyone go and check out the room and see if you can add in, like, there's only two groups have escaped.
So far.
Two so far. So that's bragging rights.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, absolutely. It was our pleasure. Go check out all this stuff, and we're gonna throw links in the descriptions and all that stuff. Are you playing something? Is it currently going?
My volume was down.
Oh no!
Professionals.
Dun.
How do we do the audio thing? But now I'm off in my elongated
Your spiel.
sign my
okay.
my sign off. Anyways, thanks for coming, guys. Super fun. Go check out all the Evidence of Evil stuff. I wish I could not break and just let it go naturally, but I'm a piece of shit and I'm unprofessional.
We'll be back every year. We're not going anywhere.
I am okay with that.
That's good news.
Yep. Anyways, that is going to do it. Oh, did we tell you guys how we sign off?
We
I don't
didn't.
think we didn't.
I think they can figure it out.
I'm going to say my name in a second, then he's going to say his name, and then you can say, and I'm whoever, and then I'm whoever, and then whatever. It's pretty straightforward. And then that'll be the end of it. We normally try to brief you guys. We're terrible. But that's going to do it for this week. So until next week, I've been JR.
I'm Alex.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Dave.
Oh my God, you guys are naturals. It's like you guys have done this before. And this has been episode 290 of Opinions May Vary.